Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 12th. It's crazy. I almost feel like I don't even need to do your reading this week. It is, you have one of the most consistent messages recently. It used to be Taurus, when I first started doing this, had a very consistent message from week to week. And now it's you. Leo has one of the most consistent messages. Nobody else has this, by the way. I mean, it's not like, it's very random, but you do have a very, very consistent message, and it always says the same thing, which is good in a lot of ways because you can just keep working at the same thing that you're working at, which a lot of Leos are doing. And, they're working at the same things, and it kind of allows you to really figure things out, I think. But you have the Jack of Spades coming up first. I want to say that you had this card, if not last week, the week before. I just can't remember exactly. But Jack of Spades is, this has been your life. Leos have been challenged their whole lives. Most signs, I feel like it's been like the past 8 years or for some people, it's been since about 9/11. 9/11 was a big kind of like tipping point energetically that changed a lot of people's lives. And it's even if 9/11 didn't happen, if the event didn't happen that day, that would have still, at least as far as I'm concerned, and just the meditations I've done on it and things, that would still be a major tipping point for everybody. Is pretty much like around that time. So this card right here represents and I don't care if you're 12 or 200. That's not even a real thing. Nobody's 200, but it doesn't matter how old you are. And with this card, it's like you've been through kind of like basic training, is a way to look at it, for your whole life, and you've learned a lot. You've probably had to learn a lot of the same lessons, a lot of the same repeating lessons. I guarantee you every single Leo could look at their life and see how they've kind of just relived a lot of the same things and had a lot of the same BS in a lot of ways repeating itself, and it's probably been very annoying to say the least. But this is you being thrusted kind of forward and out into the world, and now it's like the universe is like kind of releasing you in a lot of ways from those same patterns and paths and saying, okay, you've learned what you needed to learn, and now you need to prove yourself and prove it. That's what this card says. So it does come with a warning, because if you don't do it, if you don't step out, and if you don't prove yourself, then obviously you'll just keep reliving the same old patterns over and over and over again. But if you do move forward and you blast through those things, then you'll be fine, and you will move forward, and that's what will happen. And I'm actually going to jump forward a little bit. And again, my cards, people ask me if like the cards have to do with a day or whatever. I don't, first off, the universe doesn't have days, it doesn't have weeks, it doesn't have any of this. So, it doesn't tell time. So, like I say, all my cards, it's like your whole entire week just smushed together is what it is. That's the way to look at it. But you have the Eight of Spades coming up, and like I said, it came up in the third position, but it doesn't matter, because it really follows up with that Jack nicely, so I want to go into this. The Eight of Spades is a card. It's a challenging card, by the way. It definitely is. Like I said, I've had a lot of people recently ask me why my readings are so positive, and I tell them that my readings are not positive or negative. They're nothing. They are what you make them, and you could make your week. I could lay out a great week, and you could make your week miserable. It's up to you. So just know that. But a lot of these cards, there is no such thing as positive or negative with the cards. These cards, like I say, the spades, they all come with warnings, but they also all have solutions, which I try to focus on in my readings, if you notice. And I guess that's maybe why they come off so positive, is because I do focus on the solution instead of just saying, oh, this card's going to make your week miserable, deal with it, and throwing the card down. I'm not going to do that. So the Eight of Spades says that chances are, when this card comes up, you are stuck in some way, or you're banging your head against the wall, as I like to say with this card. And that's usually what it means. It means that you're really not moving forward in some way. So the solution to this card is to just look a little bit to the left, look a little bit to the right. The good news with the eights is that they have very simple solutions, extremely easy solutions, very easy to overcome, if you try to. They do reward work, but the eights, the Eight of Spades in particular, if you're like stuck in a relationship or you're stuck in a business, the card definitely says communicate. Ask somebody. If you can't get a relationship, this card says, ask your best friend, why am I struggling to get into a relationship? And your best friend will tell you. They'll give you the solution, and then this card asks you to follow through with that solution. Really that simple. So like I said, It does ask you to open your eyes to other paths to get to where you're going. So like I said, if you're stuck somewhere, just open up your eyes and look to do just something else to kind of like navigate the obstacle. And if you can do that, you have the Four of Diamonds coming up next, which is a very positive card. It's a card of more money coming into your house, more positivity coming into your house, like your literal house where you live. It can also just represent feeling good, like feeling like just the feelings of home. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it can have you just feeling very comfortable and supported this week, and that's how you'll be feeling. To continue that message on the Eight of Spades as well, I guess I should have done this card next. This is a Three of Diamonds, which is a card of being off balance, like I said on the Eight of Spades. Did I say Eight of Diamonds? I don't know, I'm all over the place today, but, like the Eight of Spades, this card does say that you will be presented with multiple paths. The Eight of Spades is a card of multiple paths. And this card really asks you to decide what's important to you, and even like your morals. Like you'll be presented with like 3 paths on how to get to a certain point, whatever obstacle you're trying to overcome with that Eight of Spades, and you have to pick the one that lines up with your morals and lines up with your truth and what you really believe. And that's what this card rewards. So this is another challenging card, like I said, but it really rewards that kind of like trusting yourself and going with what you believe. So all in all, you still have a very positive week. You're moving along nicely, I think, so enjoy it.